From the moment I met her, my mother-in-law made it clear she didn't like me. Her icy demeanor and veiled criticisms were hard to miss, but I tried to ignore them for the sake of my husband. For years, I played the role of the accommodating daughter-in-law, biting my tongue and brushing off her remarks. However, this time, she went too far, forcing me to take a stand I never thought I would. My husband works in the film industry, a demanding job that keeps him traveling for shoots around the world. Occasionally, he invites me or the entire family to join him on these trips, turning work into a mix of business and leisure. This month, we had planned a much-anticipated trip to New Caledonia. Everything was set, and we were excited for the getaway. Even my mother-in-law seemed unusually agreeable, joining us at the airport without her usual complaints. We arrived at the airport and unloaded our bags. As usual, I took on the task of organizing everything, double-checking to ensure nothing was left behind. Feeling confident that all was in order, I asked my mother-in-law to separate her hand luggage from the checked bags and head through security while I handled the baggage drop-off. It seemed like a smooth start to the journey, but little did I know it was about to take a sharp turn. After completing the baggage drop-off, I proceeded through security and began searching for my mother-in-law. I spotted her pacing near the gate, her face tense with worry. She explained that one of her handbags was missing, the one containing her diabetes medication. She insisted she couldn't travel without it. Trying to calm her, I suggested she retrace her steps while I checked with the baggage counter. Despite my efforts, the bag was nowhere to be found. Frustrated but determined, I headed back to her. Before I could rejoin her, airport security intercepted me. They asked me to follow them to a private room, their expressions grim. Confused and slightly alarmed, I complied. Once inside, they informed me that someone had reported me for suspicious behavior. According to the report, I had been overheard talking about guns and drugs. My mind raced. I hadn't said anything remotely close to that. Then, a chilling thought struck me. Was this my mother-in-law's doing? I sat through hours of questioning, my belongings searched meticulously. The process was humiliating and exhausting, but I cooperated fully, knowing I had nothing to hide. Finally, I was cleared. As I left the room, I showed the security officers a photo of my mother-in-law and asked if she was the one who had filed the report. Their confirmation sent a wave of anger surging through me. This was no misunderstanding, it was a deliberate act of malice. Finding her near the gate, I confronted her. She feigned ignorance, claiming she had no idea what I was talking about. I didn't press further, deciding that the airport wasn't the place for a confrontation. Instead, I resolved to deal with her actions in a way that would expose her for who she truly was. Once we returned home, I began planning my response. My mother-in-law had cultivated a reputation in her suburban neighborhood as the perfect hostess and a paragon of virtue. She prided herself on her social standing, hosting elaborate parties and boasting about her refined tastes. I decided to shatter that facade. The opportunity came during one of her gatherings. Armed with evidence of her deception, I attended the party with a plan. As the guests admired her homemade desserts, I casually revealed they were store-bought from a local bakery. When she bragged about her exclusive antiques, I pointed out that they were mass-produced items available online. Her friends' shocked expressions were priceless. Watching her carefully curated image crumble gave me a sense of vindication, but I wasn't done yet. The next step was even more personal. My husband had confided in me about her affair with a film crew member during a trip to the Bahamas. He had discovered it through a colleague but had chosen to stay silent, unwilling to disrupt his parents' marriage. After what she did to me, I felt no such obligation. I shared the information with my father-in-law, leaving nothing out. The betrayal on his face was evident as he processed the news. The fallout was immediate. My father-in-law confronted her, and their marriage unraveled. She moved out, taking refuge at her sister's house. The once united family was now divided, with tensions running high. My husband, though initially upset that I had exposed the affair, eventually understood my reasons. Still, I couldn't shake the guilt that lingered. In the days that followed, the repercussions of my actions began to ripple through our lives. My father-in-law, once a proud and composed man, seemed visibly shaken. He confided in me one evening, admitting that he had suspected something was wrong for years, but had never had the proof or the courage to confront it. His vulnerability struck a chord with me, and for the first time, I wondered if exposing the affair had caused more harm than good. My husband, too, wrestled with conflicting emotions. While he supported me in standing up for myself, he couldn't help but feel the weight of our family's disintegration. Conversations at home became strained, filled with long silences and unfinished sentences. I tried to bridge the gap, but the damage had already been done. Meanwhile, my mother-in-law's social standing continued to crumble. Friends who had once admired her now avoided her calls. She became a subject of gossip, her carefully constructed persona unraveling piece by piece. Yet even in her isolation, she refused to acknowledge her role in the chaos. Instead, she painted herself as the victim, accusing me of orchestrating her downfall out of spite. One afternoon, I received an unexpected visit from my sister-in-law. She had always been neutral in family matters, preferring to stay out of conflicts. But this time, she wanted answers. Sitting across from me, her tone was measured but firm. "Was it worth it?" she asked. Her question caught me off guard. For a moment, I didn't know how to respond. Was it worth it? I had stood up for myself, exposed the truth, and dismantled a web of lies. But at what cost? I explained my side of the story, detailing the years of mistreatment and the breaking point at the airport. My sister-in-law listened intently, her expression unreadable. When I finished, she nodded slowly. "I understand why you did it," she said. "But I hope you understand that some scars don't heal easily." Her words lingered long after she left. As weeks turned into months, the family began to adapt to its new reality. My father-in-law filed for divorce, determined to move forward with his life. My mother-in-law remained with her sister, clinging to the remnants of her reputation. My husband and I worked tirelessly to rebuild our relationship, addressing the unspoken tensions that had festered between us. Through it all, I couldn't escape the sense of responsibility I felt for the chaos that had unfolded. While my actions had been driven by a desire for justice, they had also been fueled by anger and resentment. In trying to teach my mother-in-law a lesson, I had inadvertently hurt the people I cared about most. Looking back, I realized that revenge, no matter how justified it may seem, often comes at a steep price. It's a temporary fix, a fleeting sense of satisfaction that rarely addresses the root of the problem. True strength lies in rising above the pettiness, in finding ways to resolve conflicts without causing collateral damage. This experience has taught me invaluable lessons about boundaries, forgiveness, and the importance of communication. While I can't change the past, I can strive to make better choices moving forward. For now, I'm focused on healing, not just for myself, but for my family as well. Because at the end of the day, no matter how fractured it may seem, family is worth fighting for.